Welcome back to the Fantasy Football Formula. This is week 8 of the NFL season. Going to be going through our favorite picks, about 5 total. got Alex repping the Bears up there. But yeah, we'll start off as usual. I would say last week was just a meh week. It was, can't win them all.
That's gambling, baby.
Yep. So we're going into this week 8, strong here. So we'll start out. We got a few picks on this Thursday night football game. Ravens going into the Bucks on a short week. What do you guys got here? We'll start with Alex here. Who has it?
Yeah, I'm going Ravens money line here. I think we saw who the Bucks were this past week. I don't think they're as bad as they played, but I don't think that they're anywhere near where they were the last couple of years. And I think a lot of it's got to do with what's going on in Brady's personal life and the time he's taken off the field and away from the team. And I'm a little worried that we're seeing just kind of like the worst retirement in history going down right in front of us from the GOAT. I think the Ravens are still trending in the right direction. Lamar's got to put together some fourth quarters here soon. Otherwise, I'm going to start fading them as well. But for the time being, until the Bucks show any glimpse of offense, I will be fading them and riding a pretty good Ravens team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was pretty underwhelmed by the Ravens last week against the Browns. If it wasn't for a really bad offensive pass interference call at the end of the game, Amari Cooper streaking down the sidelines for a game-winning touchdown, they would have lost. And honestly, I was pretty underwhelmed by their defense. Jacoby Brissett was out there looking like Eli Manning in his prime. So I don't know. I was really bullish on the Ravens in the beginning of the year, and then watching them for a game, it was just kind of like lackluster. But I guess the story for this week on the Ravens, if there's one thing you could count on the Bucks being good at, it's stopping the run. And if there's one thing you could count on the Ravens for, it's running the ball.
Did you see what Chuba Hubbard just did to them and D'Onta Foreman? They had like 250 yards collectively rushing last week.
You're right. You're right. But I think I'm going to mark that as a one-off game, and I'm going to keep betting on the bounce backs of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers all season until it happens, because it's bound to happen at some point. They're going to get back to themselves, and I know they're old and they might not reach their prime again, but they're way better than they're playing. So for that reason, I'm going with the Bucks with 1.5. I almost want to just bet the money line in this one and just get better odds, to be honest with you.
Might as well pick them.
That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. But I like the Bucks in this one.
Yeah, I didn't know what to think. I think both these teams have the potential to be good. Obviously, with Tampa Bay, they have so many injuries on that front line that has really caused issues with the timing for Tom Brady that makes him look really bad. Because last year he threw for over 4,000 yards. Like, he had a great year. And I don't think much has changed besides his personal life and him just kind of, taking a back seat. I think he's going to turn it on here soon because, as we know, Tom Brady is one of the most, biggest competitors that has been in the game has been in the game ever. It's crazy. He's played for this long. Like, you don't have that competitive drive and play for this long. So, and again, and then on the Ravens side, I'm not really, been impressed by the Ravens this entire year. They've been leading games, but they also seem to give up against bad teams. And I don't know. I don't know what to think about either of these teams right now. But, last Thursday we had a decent game. We had points, we had touchdowns. I think the same is going to go for this game as well. The over has gone over 5 of the last 6 times Tampa Bay has played an AFC opponent. So I'm going to take the over here at 45.5. I know it's a lot of points, but I think this is a game that Tom Brady can turn around and put up points and not put up a goose egg they got 3 points like they did last week against the Panthers. So give me all the points. And yeah, I just 45.5 just seems like a good spot.
All right. Yeah, I don't have a pick in this game. So moving on to the next game, we have the Broncos going to play in London against the Jaguars. I
Let's hear
believe
your
Russ.
best London impressions, PB, for this pick.
I don't have a pick, and this is Corey, so Corey's got to
Oh,
do the
Corey,
London
let's hear
impression.
it.
All right, what? From this pick, I'm going to be taking the Broncos plus 2.5 here. What's really bad are the Jaguars. They are a bad football team.
The
Yes, they are
Jaguars.
Yes, the Jaguars. They're trending in the right direction, but in London town, they might be one of the better teams to play over there, but it just ain't happening. This the same old lines. It is. um I mean it's sorry, I said Lions, I meant Jaguars. But the Broncos are the most confusing team, I think, this year in the NFL. Russell Wilson looks like, I mean, thank God he didn't play last week, and maybe that will help him to propel him for the rest of the season. That was probably the best. Honestly, if he's been hurt, they probably should have done that 2 weeks ago, and just got him fully healthy. Because if he's playing on a bad hammy, a bad shoulder, like give this dude a break, and just let him rest and then let him cook, because we haven't seen him cook this entire year. He's not been good. But the Jaguars, I mean, they look like they have it together, and then they just it's week to week. They just do the same dumb mistakes, and they just which happens with young teams. They make mental errors. Travis Etienne fumbled into the end zone. They drove the ball down the field. They had a chance to beat the Giants, but at the end of the day, it was just a little bit too little, too late. So I'm gonna take the Broncos here plus 2.5. I think the Broncos put it together, and I think they win this game. Because if they don't, again, I said it last week, and I'll say it again this week, if they don't win this game, everyone's gone. Like, I would trade Russ. I would set him down.
Good
I
luck
don't know.
trading him.
Can
I
you
think
imagine?
the only break that Russell Wilson needs is retirement. The guy is washed. Like, even on his, like, it's not the play calling. He can't even make it throws anymore. So like it's all on him. I
No,
even want to take the Jags just after hearing you try and rationalize that.
No. I will give you the Jaguars are 1-7 ATS in the last 8. Put that in
That's
perspective.
tough.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's tough to bet in. That's
Yeah.
tough to bet with.
And they're 1-8 straight
Oh.
up in the last 9. So I mean, we can sit here and throw out stats all day long.
Broncos are just like so underwhelming overall. Like, their defense just isn't that good. They have like a lot of big.
Their
That's
defense
not
is
true.
good.
Their
Their defense is solid.
Is it though?
Yeah.
The Broncos have a very good defense.
Have you watched the game? Like, they're
Yes,
just,
I have. I've watched plenty of.
They've
the
given up
games.
like a max 16 points in the last 3 weeks.
I don't know. It's not that
defense is
impressive.
very good. But all right, that was the only pick from that game. So all right. Moving on to the Bears going into Dallas to play the Cowboys. Coming
A lot
off
of points.
What's that?
A lot of points for this one.
Yeah. What's the over under at? Oh, 42.5.
I just meant like the spread is a lot of points.
Oh, yeah. 9. So the Cowboys
9.5.
Yeah, so it's a 9.5. It was actually 10.5 before that Patriots Bears game. So I was already considering taking the Cowboys at that, but then the Bears upset the Patriots, but the Patriots
in
aren't
dominant fashion.
In dominant fashion, they did. They beat the Patriots, but I think the Patriots are a bottom tier football team. I don't think they're any good. It was impressive that they went into New England and won. I will say that, but the Patriots haven't beaten a single good team this year, and they've got their defense has been bad all year. And you could say that, oh, Nick, you watched the Browns game, but again, it's the Browns offense. So I'm taking the Cowboys minus 9.5 with that pass. And actually, the Patriots were an overrated defense. The Cowboys have an actual elite defense. That pass rush is going to give that O-line all sorts of problems all game long. I think this could get ugly really quick for the Bears. So I'm on and I think Dak, like, people try to compare, like, oh, is Cooper Rush? I think Dak is a much better quarterback than Cooper Rush. And I think
I'm not going to bet this one because did you watch the Cowboys last week? They could barely like put points up against the Lions defense, which is probably the worst in the league.
Yeah, they did that
You
was
know?
Dak's first game
Just a little
back, shaking the
confusing.
rust off. But I think against, the Bears, like with that, Dak doesn't even really have to have a big game. Like the Bears still have a horrible run defense. And unlike the Patriots, who have like no passing attack, the Cowboys at least have that to worry about. And then Tony Pollard could have a big game this week, I think.
I will say, I was listening to something that it seemed like the Bears gave more running plays to Justin Fields,
Yeah.
and it definitely showed. Like, yeah, he was under pressure, and like I feel like he was given almost like the green light. Like, hey, man, you're an athletic human being. Like, you're a superstar in that sense. Like, go make plays. I mean, numerous times.
There was a lot of designed runs for him.
Yeah.
No, I know, but then
they
there's
were
also
calling like Josh Allen Powers for him.
I was like,
too.
okay, like this is the way you use him. I mean,
Yeah.
he will progress as a passer. And I mean, I liked what he did last night. He looked. I mean, the only interception he threw was a deflected ball, which I mean that happens all the time in the NFL, and you can't really blame him for that. So this is risky, PB.
I think he's gonna have like maybe half a second to throw the ball. So unless he's rushing for like 150 yards and then they just score some points on the goal line, and then their defense has an incredible game. Like I don't see how.
I do think having
close.
Tevin Coleman, he left that Patriots game. I don't think he came back. Is a big blow if the Bears O-line doesn't have him. Obviously, the Cowboys pass rush is probably the best in the league. So
like
that's
Micah
not a
Parsons.
great. Yeah. So that's not ideal, but I mean, the Cowboys have that against everyone they play against. And
yeah, but I think like when you look at mismatches, like the Lions had an elite O-line. So like a pass rush show is like harder to have that matter, whereas the Bears, who have like a bottom 2 O-line, like that's gonna be ugly in my opinion.
Did see a very alarming video today that
was bad. I know what you're talking about. The O-lineman blocking the wrong direction.
I saw that.
That is back. Like, what the hell is going on?
What's going on, guys?
So bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Hey,
So-
wish you the best of luck there, Alex.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So Cowboys -9.5. Mike Parsons gonna continue his reign for defensive player of the
Did
year.
you, PB? Did you apologize, Alex, yet for throwing bets in his face multiple times last night?
Listen, I
losing all
say
He doesn't need to apologize. The
I'm
tickets
kidding.
speak for themselves. It's all good.
yeah, I mean, I just say what like
Alex,
I
you gotta
think,
take where you can get it.
I am. I'll let the play on the field do all the talking.
this week could be a little different, but all right, moving on to the Raiders. This is another game. I do have 2 of my 5 picks in. So Raiders going and play the Saints. We'll start with you, Nick, since I just talking about the Cowboys, and then we'll bounce it back to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Raiders are a team who were a point away from beating the Chiefs, one of the best teams in the NFL. They have the potential, they have the upside, but the downside has definitely been there as well this year. I just truly don't believe in anything the Saints are putting on the field. Couple washed up superstars on the defensive side, holding it down, and a pretty lackluster offense. So I don't think they're going to be able to.
Okay, so we know you don't know a whole lot.
I
about
mean,
what the Saints
2
have done.
pick. I'll give it to you this way. You're really good at helping defenses score with 2 minutes left in the first half. So pretty electric in that sense. But otherwise, I'm not too confident in them with all the injuries. Maybe fully healthy, they'll be a little bit more fun. But I think the Raiders with Devontae Adams are just going to be unstoppable in this one. So basically, I pick them going with the Raiders.
You see
All right.
Devontae's got like 59 targets, 0 drops this year, something crazy like that.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I wonder how many
Good.
career drops he has. I bet it's
Single
Pretty-
digits, maybe.
I think
Yeah,
Rodgers
crazy
is probably
stat.
missing him quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
So I have the Saints money line in this game. The Raiders aren't a good team. Like their defense is their offense has been good. We all knew like coming into the season they had the pieces to be good on offense, and they have been a very good offense this year. But their defense has been they have the worst passing defense in the entire league. And then the Saints. So that gets to my other pick. The Saints have also, we've had some injuries and things like that with Lattimore being out. I think Lattimore is going to be back this game. I don't think Thomas or Landry is, and I think Winston is going to play. So I think this is going to set up to be a shootout. Like I think this could really be the highest scoring game of the week. Back and forth, big game from Olave, big game from Winston, big game from Carr. Like I just think this is a back and forth shootout. So I like the over 49.5, and that is actually my lock of the week. But I still think the Saints can win this game. Again, I think the Saints, when they're healthy, have a much better defense, and the Saints have had a top 7 offense this whole year, and that's without Michael Thomas, Landry, Olave for a few games, like, and with Andy Dalton. Like we've had a top 7 offense in the league. So, we're scoring tons of points every single game, and if we can just get healthy on the defensive side of the ball, I think that's going to help us a ton.
What can you tell me? You may have the 7th ranked best offense. I'm trying to think in the league, but like, can you tell me like what top notch defenses you guys have played besides the Bucks?
Okay, let me go through the schedule.
So you got Falcons, Bucks, Panthers, Vikings, Seahawks, Bengals, Cardinals.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Cardinals.
Cardinals are
None
not
of
good
those
defense.
teams, like the Vikings, probably have one of the worst pass defenses in that list. But like all those teams, like the Falcons, I mean, you saw Burrow tear them up, but I mean, yeah, so did Winston. But the Falcons have actually had a pretty decent pass defense this year.
I understand it's like
So did the Panthers.
Congratulations on your 7th best offense. You're 2-5. Like,
Okay, that's great. But I'm
you
saying,
might
yeah,
score
our
a lot of
defense.
garbage time points, but like for what?
Well, again, my lock of the week is over 49.5, not the Saints
That's
money
fine.
line.
Yeah.
It's still one of my picks, but 49.5 is my lock. Like this game is going over. There's going to be tons of points scored. Even if I think Lattimore comes back, I think the Raiders offense can still, move the ball. And I think the Saints win this in a shootout.
all right, we'll see. We shall
I don't know.
see.
You lost to the Panthers, so it's like,
All right.
All right.
So the next.
Panthers, speaking of the Panthers, going to play the Falcons in Atlanta. Alex, what do you got?
Yeah. This line confused me. I mean, it opened up at Falcons -6.5, and I expected that to go through a touchdown. But it has gone the other way, and I'm assuming that's just because of the Panthers demolishing the Bucks, which I think was kind of fluky. I think the Falcons are a much better team than the Panthers. It's like that one little bit of backup juice that you get against a Bucks team in a bad spot. So yeah, I like the Falcons -4.5 here. I think that they moved to 7-1 ATS on the year, and I think they cover this pretty easily.
Dust Bowl of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that there's one game with 2 teams with winning records playing each other this week.
That's it.
Yeah, and guess who it is? Giant Seahawks.
Oh my God.
That's the only game this week with 2 teams with winning records.
Oh my
It's
God.
been a weird NFL season.
I know it's crazy. But that's the
parody
Seahawks, the
that they
Giants,
live
the
on.
Jets. Everyone that we said was going to be the worst team this year is like off to a pretty good start.
I think this is
I
the
did
year
not
of-
say that. I was
I-
high on the Jets and the Giants this year.
I think this is the week everything starts turning around. We'll see the true colors of those teams come out.
Poor Jets. A lot of tough injuries over there. So
Oh, dude, the Jets offensive line, my gosh. Like, I think every offensive lineman's done. Like, their whole offensive line has been injured this year.
like for the season, yeah.
Yeah.
Elijah Vera Tucker and Brees Hall both gone. I think Brees Hall's been the story over there, but
Yeah.
we'll
So,
see him next year.
All right, next game we got Steelers going to play Philly. Philly's coming off of their bye. One of the hottest teams in the NFL right now.
The hottest.
Yeah, arguably so. Alex, do you want to start?
Yeah. Eagles, I mean, it's a big number, but Eagles minus 10.5 is my pick here. I think coming off the bye week, they've had 2 weeks basically to prepare for maybe the second or third worst team in the league in the Steelers. The one game that the Steelers have played a top, let's say 5, top 3 team was against the Bills, and the Bills put up 38 on them, 38-3 final. After
No love for the Bucks either.
what's that?
No love for the Bucks. Not a top 5 team anymore.
The Bucks
Not
were never a
currently.
top 5 team.
Not currently.
All right, just checking.
No, I mean, again, it's Tom.
The Bucks
we were
lost
talking
to the
about it.
Steelers and the Panthers, so they're
Yeah, that's what I mean. Not right now. I mean, but we're talking about with Aaron and with Tom. Like, it wouldn't shock me if both of those teams made the playoffs still, just with who they got at quarterback.
Yeah.
But currently, there's no way I could say the Bucks are a top 5 team. No chance.
All right.
Or the Packers. The Eagles,
Definitely
though,
not the
I think we can
Packers.
all agree are. And so, yeah, coming off the bye, getting those fresh legs, game planning for 2 weeks, I think that they cover this number.
Yeah, the Steelers are averaging 15 points a game, and now they have to play the Eagles, who obviously have a good defense, and they're coming off of the bye. The Steelers, I still think, bottom 3 team in the NFL. I've been saying that. It was a hot take somehow before the year started, but it doesn't seem so hot anymore. Like I think this team is absolutely terrible, and I think that'll just show again this week, and the Eagles just absolutely destroy them. So yeah, this is a pretty easy pick for me. I was debating whether it was gonna be my lock, but went with the over in the Saints game. So all right, moving on from this game, we got the Dolphins going in to play the Lions. Spreads at -3 in favor of the Dolphins. We'll start with Corey here. Corey, you're muted.
Taking the Dolphins -3 here. The Lions are pretty beat up right now. DeAndre Swift may be back this week. Not sure if he will play. I know they've been pretty cautious with him. He has been injured a couple times already in his short career, so you don't really want to rush him back. Jamal Williams, I mean, he's okay. He's not DeAndre Swift. I'm on Ross St. Brown. Also went out with a concussion early. And it was like the first play of the game.
They
second
said
play
he
of the
could have
game.
come back, but with how everything's gone with concussions this year.
Okay, well, so that definitely boosts the Lions because they looked really bad against the Cowboys. They could not move the ball. I understand the Cowboys have a good defense, but they looked really bad, and we saw the Jared Goff of old. So I like the line or the Dolphins here. The Dolphins, are 6-3 ATS against NFC teams in their last 9. I think the Dolphins offense is a freaking wagon right now with all the options they have to throw the ball to. Waddle, you have Hill. They actually got their run game going last week. I mean, I understand it was against the Steelers, but they still look good moving the ball. Tua, he's starting to come, into his own as an NFL quarterback. He looks a little bit better week to week, but that Miami offense is such a different animal when he's on the field and he's conducting it. So
Yep.
I like the Dolphins to keep trending up. So give them to me -3.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm with you, Corey. I think the Dolphins are legit. I mean, this is a team that started 4-0. They knocked off the Bills, Ravens, some of the best AFC teams out there. Like you're saying, Tua's back, and I think they're going to get right back where they left off. So I like this pick a lot. I don't really believe too much in the lines. I mean, I think the Hard Knocks hype has kind of died down a little bit, so they're just going to turn into the same old lines again.
Same old lines.
All right. Moving on to the next game. I think this could be a really entertaining game. The Cardinals going to play the Vikings. Corey, looks like you're the only one with a pick in this game.
Yes. So I'm taking the Vikings here -3.5. I said very early in the beginning of the year, when the Eagles played the Vikings, that the Vikings could be an NFC championship team. They have the offensive weapons to be able to get there. Their defense, on the other hand, needs to, perform a little bit better. They have been better in the past. They are coming off their bye. So anyone who was injured had an extra week to get healthy. And, the Cardinals they're not a good. I don't believe the Cardinals are a good team. I've said it last week. I'll say it again this week. Cliff Kingsbury is a terrible head coach. I won't say they got lucky against the Saints, because the Saints, I don't think they were beat up last week. And they were gifted 2 interceptions at the end of the first half that, gave them a huge lead going into the second half. Kyler looked better. D-Hop definitely helps out that offense, but I'm telling you, the Vikings are a very good, very good in that kind of mid-tier range right now, where they can
They're
be
legit.
yeah, I think they are. So
Make up your mind, Corey. Make a stand. Pretty good or very good?
They're pretty very good. So and Arizona's 2-5 ATS in the last 7 against the NFC North teams. So yeah, give me the Vikings against a terribly coached Cardinals team.
I would also check out the first half spread on that. If it's like Vikings -1 or 1.5,
Yeah.
the Cards have been super slow out of the gate.
I think they scored 1 time in the first quarter, or this entire year. They're one of the worst offensive teams to get started in the game. So yeah.
All right, moving on to the afternoon games. We have a few games left here. Titans going to play Houston. Alex, what do you got?
I've decided that I am going to be betting the stink in the poop bowls from here on out, because the last couple of weeks that I've done it, I've made money on them. So going to continue that trend here. Going to roll with the under 40.5. I think both of these offenses are based around their run game, and I don't think that they are all that good on either side of the ball. I think this is going to be a slow, grinded out type of game. Derrick Henry, 30 carries. Damian Pierce, 25, 30 carries with some sexy Rexy Burkhead in there too. So just game script wise, I think this goes under that 40.5 mark.
Also, Ryan Tannehill hurt his ankle, so I don't know his health status is, but he came back in the game against the Colts, but he didn't.
Be seeing some Malik.
I mean, sure.
You have a leak?
I like the under even better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we got Giants going to play the Seahawks. Nick, what do you got?
I like the Giants +3. I'm going to keep riding them. Seahawks, I think we could officially say, are a pretty high-powered offense, but we saw DK Metcalf go out injured last week, so not as high on them putting up as many points as they usually do. Giants also play a slow, grinding game of brand of football, so not used to that on the Seahawks side. I don't know if they're going to be able to keep up. I mean, Kenneth Walker looking pretty good from a running back perspective, but I don't know if he's at that level where he could carry a whole team in a whole game like Nick Chubb could do. So for that reason, rolling with the G-men.
Got a believer. Got a believer.
I think Daboll's a great coach. I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson's breaking out a little bit. We started to see why they took
Danny Dimes has been awesome.
Yeah. I mean, he's all right.
And like
not all right. He's been incredible.
And fiery on the sidelines, and where who he's throwing the ball to, especially.
Yeah. He has the most game-winning drives this season so far.
He's got like 4.
If you guys see this bet anywhere, let me know. But I want to bet on an OBJ New York
reunion.
Yeah, a little reunion. I mean, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Daniel Jones is also like on pace to like be top 5 in yards, like rushing yards for all time.
Doesn't he just kind of? It's a little obvious with Daboll there, but you kind of look at him and you're like, you look like a young Josh Allen, just kind of running the ball, slinging it. pretty well out there.
Looks,
So
looks quite
That's-
good.
Well, it's a little bit of a high comparison, but
I said a young Josh Allen, not a
Josh
Patrick
Allen
Mahomes.
is still very young.
How old is Josh Allen?
Josh
Nick?
Allen is still very young.
I think he's like 3 or 4 years in, right?
He's like
Probably
4.
like 2 years older or something.
He's
Yeah.
he already got paid, so but
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Next, we got the 49ers going to take on the Rams. Rams coming off the bye, right?
Yep.
yep.
So going into LA. Alex, what do you got?
Yeah, 49ers at Rams. As we've seen in the past, Kyle Shanahan just absolutely owns Sean McVay.
Yeah.
I think he's 8-4 ATS over the last 4 years. And when they played earlier this year, the 49ers absolutely dominated 24-9. They're healthier now. They won that game without Trent Williams. And obviously we get Christian McCaffrey with a full week of practice in and a much more infused 49ers offense than the first time these guys met. So 49ers money line, lock of the week, locking it in, getting these locks in the right direction. Hasn't been great these last couple of weeks, but the reverse jinx worked, and we're rolling and getting a dub this time.
Yeah. Rams suck. Love it.
Did you see that stat that Shanahan is like 1-31 or something crazy like that when the 49ers are down by 3 points going into the fourth quarter?
Yeah,
Wow.
I heard that, but
Can't come back.
there's like,
No.
I mean, it's a skewed stat. It's kind of
Yeah.
a skewed stat because if they're down like 17, that still
Yeah.
falls under that.
Yeah.
I know,
But yeah, no,
it's
not
crazy.
a great look. Not a great look.
Yeah. But they could just run
His-
the tables on this
I
team.
don't. I mean, he's like one of the most interesting coaches in my mind on that front because like a ton of the numbers go against him. Like his overall record as a head coach is like 500, if not worse. But
Yeah.
I think everyone would agree he's one of the best offensive coaches in the entire league. Like,
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, with what he runs, and then you see his
And they're
come off his coaching tree, what they
And-
doing
yeah.
down in Miami.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know
I mean,
that
their
those
defense
stats.
is sick
It's
too.
that Rams O line and 49ers D line mismatch is, man, Stafford's gonna have a heyday.
Yeah.
All right, moving to Sunday night football. Packers going to play the Bills after the Packers have just gotten beat up the last 3 weeks by some bad teams. But
I will not bet the Packers the rest of the year. I have put them in almost every teaser the last 3 weeks, and it has been the only leg that has not hit. I refuse to do it for the rest of the year.
yeah, so we're taking the pain, I think, next because Corey, Nick, and myself are on the same side of this game. Who wants to start?
Not me. I'm scared. I mean, it's my lock of the week for some reason, but this is probably my least confident.
Oh yeah,
bet
two
for
of
some
you
reason.
have locks here. So all
But I think
one.
I just bet it purely because Aaron Rodgers has never had this many points on his side his entire career. So that's why I'm putting it in as a lock. Let's hope we can put it back together. I don't know. I mean, this is just not a Packers team we've really ever seen. Like they don't look good.
Nick,
That's it. Like that's it. They're not a good football team right now. So
Nick.
betting on the bounce back. But like I'm most afraid because the Bills are the one wagon that could just like beat the brakes off a team. So even with 10 points, I'm like a little scared. So
That was the
Way
worst.
to be confident
I
in your
know
lock,
it's not
dude.
convincing, but I'd rather be honest with you than lie and like boast them up because like there's not
Nick,
much to boast. on the
You're,
side of the
you just
Packers
made this
year.
your lock of the week, and you literally, out of all your picks, like you just trash talked your one lock.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go with your gut. I don't know. That's all I have
Your
to
gut
say.
doesn't seem to be pointing to the Packers. I'll tell you that. But I like
The
so
mind does not like the Packers in this one, but my gut's telling me
Okay.
Rodgers can cover.
all right.
A lot
Well,
of points.
I like the Packers plus 11. I just think again, yeah, he's never been this much of an underdog in his entire career. I do think the Bills win this game, but I think at the most by 10 points. Like I think this game could even set up to be like one of those like backdoor coverages late in the game. The Bills have just been winning all game long, and then Rodgers just has, just a late touchdown where it goes from 14-8 or whatever, and that's it. They cover, and it's just one of those backdoor things, and that's how I think this actually happens. And I think the Packers defense can still make plays, and you still have Rodgers. So I don't think Rodgers is yet as washed as Brady.
Agreed.
No, I agree with you there. So this week I do have a rhyme for you guys.
Here we go.
With it being Halloween week, I went with a spooky kind of rhyme here. So bear with me here. This is don't know how this is gonna go, but all right, here the Packers season is getting kind of spooky, but I think this is pretty fluky. Rodgers has looked pretty loopy, which could be from that smoky dopey. It may look gloomy, but give me the Packers to get this booty. And booty's in reference of winning the game and covering the points, not my booty per se. Rodgers record
went south quick.
Rodgers record Sunday Night Football 18-11. They are 10.5 point underdogs. He's never been an underdog of that magnitude in his entire career. There's not really any bad trends against the Bills here, but 10.5 points is a lot of points, especially against a quarterback with this much knowledge of the game. And he came off an MVP season last year. He is Aaron Rodgers. He's still a very good quarterback. I think the Packers offense will figure out this week. And I think they will cover this. And I actually, I honestly think that they could win this game and come out as a sneaky little money line play. But
Peter LaFleur and the Purple Cobras are coming for you.
I will. I'll play it safe here, and I'll take the 10.5 points. Aaron Rodgers' record off a loss. I've said it last 3 weeks. It's insane stat. I mean, add 3 losses to it, but it's still incredible. So, give me the Packers to cover this line, baby. 10.5.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode. We'll be back tomorrow for the DFS breakdown. Anything else to add?
Go Browns.
Sam Ehlinger, MVP.
Go. Hopefully Winston's back. That's
Bear
all.
down. Bear down, baby.